the next two? Is he still aggressive?
Yeah, what do they call him? The con artist? I like that. I saw that, man. That's pretty good. It's a cool nickname.
So the reason why I played that audio at the front, because Omar Khan is still doing Omar Khan things. And yes, he's still being aggressive. Now, it may not look like that Matthew Wright is a good signing, or why would you sign a kicker when we already have a kicker? But the real kicker is dead set, and there's way too many puns in this. I'm going to write myself out of this ship. But the real kicker is that you need a guy like Matthew Wright into the offseason. So Steelers have signed Matthew Wright, kicker. He played with us, I think, in 2020. Where is it? 2020, Jacksonville 21, 2022 was the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Carolina in 23. So he's a journeyman kicker. He's a backup kicker. I think he's played in the XFL a few times as well. So he's kind of like your safety blanket, but the Steelers are bringing him into camp. And that's the reason, why the Steelers brought him in, because you need him to be backup to do the drills that Chris Boswell doesn't want to do. And you're also probably thinking, why is Mark talking about Hooley Dooley University president talking about a backup kicker? Maybe because not many other people will. But the Steelers made a signing, and when you think about it, it's a really good signing because Chris Boswell, look, he's not going down. Knock on wood. Hopefully he doesn't go down. But if he were to go down, Matthew Wright's been in the building. He's played for us before, I think in 4 games, I think it was here. So I got it from the actual website. Steelers signed Wright to the 53-man roster of the KC Chiefs practice squad in 2022, and he played 4 games while hitting 12 out of 14 field goal attempts, longest of 52, with 7 out of 7 extra points. So he's played there before. He's played for the Steelers before. He's filled in. He's done his job, and now he's got the backup kicker role. At the same time is, though, the Steelers won't take into their 53, they won't take a kicker. Not going to happen. But they might put Wright on the practice squad, or he's always a phone call away. It's a bit like when they had the whole situation with like Brad Wing. Not the hugest fan of Brad Wing. He's an okay bloke. He's all cool. It's all whatever. I just never liked him as a Steeler in the early days, but he's doing great things now. I think out with the XFL and the San Antonio Brahmas, who are 2-0. He's killing it. He's throwing passes, TDs. He's going fantastic. But the Steelers did the same thing. They had Brad Wing on the phone. If something were to happen, they called him up, and he played a few games. I think it was last year, played 2 or 3 games with us punting. And I talked about this yesterday too with the Miles Boykin thing. Teams isn't really talked about enough. It's not. So I'm going to try and give you my thoughts on why this is a good signing and the right sign. Another pun. The right sign for the Steelers right now. You bring in Matthew Wright to the offseason. He does all the drills, the new kickoff returns. Chris Boswell does his stuff, goes through the motions, works with 46, works with our new punter, works with Danny Smith. Chris Boswell is an absolute veteran and shaping up his career, almost his 10th, I think, season or 11th season in the league. Like, he's having a Hall of Fame career. Nobody will really say that, but you look to his stats, look what he's done in the league. He looks like he could be the Hall of Fame guy if we gave him a ring or 2 and maybe a few more stats on top. Because also the Ravens kicker, never remember his name. The Ravens kicker, Justin Tucker. He's the number 1 guy in the league, so everyone looks to him. But really, Chris Boswell isn't too far away. And look at his stats, the way how he plays. And I know a few injuries here and there, but he's setting himself up. So bringing a guy like Matthew Wright down the track, well, if something does happen to Chris Boswell, he can be the guy to step up and play because he's already done so. But even so, with the little things going on in the offseason, I'd say that he'd be doing all the new kickoff returns. He'd be doing, maybe set plays where the defense or teams tries to design a block, or maybe they do a block on purpose. Going through those fundamental things where new players have to learn how to set up on kickoff returns, or place kicking from extra points and stuff like that. So they're going to use him in the right positions. How many times have I made? How many punts? That's about 5 or 6 punts. Anyways, I like it. I think it's cool. Nobody's talking about it. I know this signing will go under the bridge. Nobody will care. But I feel like the Steelers have signed the right kicker for the offseason. Like, he's going to be helping out the team. And this is one of those things too, when you go to training camp, and I hopefully one day I can go to training camp. I don't think I'll make it this year, but I keep saying that. But I've got to get my stuff in the right order. It's really hard to get there. but hopefully I can get there in the near future to go to training camp. These are the things you look out for, is guys like this on the bubble, training to be a backup, to be in the practice squad, to if something does happen to Chris Boswell, which we hope it doesn't, then he's ready to go, or Mike Tomlin is a phone call away. And Omar Khan is aggressive in these situations because this makes the most sense. He's played for the Steelers in 4 games. He's familiar. He knows the stadium, knows the team, knows how it all works. So a lot of fans on Facebook will be like, oh, this is stupid. Why would you go and sign Wright? There's no way that he's going for the job. He's not meant to go for the job. Matthew Wright is meant to be a backup kicker. Matthew Wright is meant to be you know what? And it'd be great too. If someone knows who he is, I would love to get him on the podcast and find out what his role is for the Steelers. Find out his journey as a kicker. That'd be fantastic. Matthew Wright is meant to be the guy in the offseason to play backup to Chris Boswell. Nothing more, nothing less. Go out there and do the jobs that Chris Boswell doesn't want to do. So in some sense, this is a really good signing, right? And Mark, you're just painting it. You're just painting, the barn red, like you're painting the barn red. Well, I am. The kicker, off-season, that's it. Barn red painted. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan are making moves. Yes, it's not a receiver like Tyler Boyd or whoever. But still, these moves, in my opinion, need to be talked about because him going into the offseason, if something happened to Chris Boswell, you got a guy there. Otherwise, nothing happens. Chris Boswell goes throughout his motions and Matthew Wright starts to get the team ready and do the jobs that Chris Boswell doesn't want to do. Anyways, I think it's good. We're going to see this bloke in the offseason, training camp. We're going to see him, in preseason games, things like that. We just hope we don't see him in the regular season, if that makes any sense. Chris Boswell's our guy, no controversy. Matthew Wright is here for the right chance at the right time, in the right place. That makes no sense. Anyways, guys, too many Wright jokes. I'll see you guys later. Steelers sign Matthew Wright I've got no more jokes. I'll see you later.